Welcome back to Film Snob HQ. The road to Avengers Doomsday continues. We've got a couple of series behind us, but now we're back to a movie, thank goodness. I like those series, as I said, standalone, but watching them back to back to back is a bit of a slog and definitely slows down the binge. But we are up to now a movie that I think got a little bit overshadowed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. I got to see it in theaters. The lockdowns ended temporarily enough for me to go and see it. And then a week later, it came out on Blu-ray. I didn't even realize they kind of fast-tracked it all because of the pandemic. It's one of a couple of movies I got to see during the pandemic when the lockdowns lifted. For my money, it's one of the better origin stories, not just in the MCU, but one of the best post-Endgame films, and doesn't get enough credit, I don't think. And I am talking about Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Two Rings. This is a really fun flick, man. The balance is absolutely perfect. It has all of the kind of mystique and kind of like bombastic nature of a kung fu film, whilst having some great comedy, a really lovely kind of heart at the center, a really kind of sad story, quite a tragedy, and then some big CGI battles and stuff. But I think what really stands out for this one in particular is the fight choreography. The fight scene on the bus in particular is one of the best sequences in any Marvel project for my money. It's really fun, it's really entertaining, and really kind of frenetic. You feel the weight of the punches and kicks. You feel the movements of Shang-Chi as he kind of swings around the bus and stuff like that. We then have a wonderful fight scene in Macau, not just in the fighting pits where we see Abomination and Wong, but outside on all of the kind of scaffolding as well, which is really quite cool. And then the third act, we've got giant dragons and demons flying around, and that's just fun to me. It stars, of course, Simu Liu as Shang-Chi. You may remember him from Kim's Convenience. If you haven't seen Kim's Convenience, by the way, what a fantastic show that is. Talk about funny and big gooey heart. Like, drop what you're doing and just binge it. It's so much fun. Awkwafina plays his best friend, Katie. Awkwafina is someone I didn't really know much about until Shang-Chi. I might have seen her in a Jumanji film previously. But she is a draw for me. If she's on a casting list, I am there for that flick. Speaking of other things you should watch that are adjacent to Shang-Chi, The Farewell, a movie with Awkwafina, is beautiful. Go and see that and cry your eyes out and come back and tell me all about it. Tony Leung is the villain, Wenwu, who is the leader of the Ten Rings, so the clan of the Ten Rings, who were previously co-opted by the Mandarin in Iron Man and Iron Man 3. It's now revealed, in fact, that the Mandarin had nothing to do with the Ten Rings, and it's not a terrorist group. The Ten Rings are a magical weapon that he's had for 1,000 years, and Wenwu is the villain in this piece. Michelle Yeoh shows up as well as Shang-Chi's aunt, and is just the brilliance that Michelle Yeoh is. Her second MCU appearance, because she's also in Guardians Volume 2. And I'm sure I'm missing someone. It feels like I'm missing someone big, and I apologize for that. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to talk about. It's just a really entertaining flick. And after being in the lockdown for as long as I was, as I mentioned in the last video, I loved Black Widow. I think it's a really dark, grounded spy thriller that it's overlooked. But given the time we were in when this film came out during COVID, we needed something to lift our spirits and to entertain us and keep us happy. And this flick is that. It is just, I just feel like it's perfectly tailor-made for any audience. Like, this is a film that dads are going to dig because it's got that old school kung fu feel to it. But like the blend of humor, the blend of family drama, I just think it really appeals to anyone. The CGI is a lot of, there's a lot of great CGI stuff in there as well. The Ten Rings themselves are a really interesting weapon and seem to be part of the Infinity Stones MacGuffin of this saga. Although we haven't touched on it much since. There's a brief reference to them in Miss Marvel, which I'm looking forward to talking about. I really like Miss Marvel. She has a bracelet that seems to be of a similar origin to the Ten Rings. But beyond that, there hasn't been much. So looking forward to seeing how that ties in with Doom. Doom is a big... he's really fascinated by the mystic arts and sorcery and stuff like that, so I'm sure the Ten Rings will come into play at some point. That is it. I love it. I really, really dig it. I think you'll dig it too. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. In terms of returning characters, we know that Shang-Chi is returning. He's going to be in Avengers Doomsday and probably Secret Wars as well. Katie, I imagine, will show up at least for a moment because of her ties to Shang-Chi, even if it's just like they're hanging out at the Avengers kind of campus or whatever, and then he goes off to fight Doom. I imagine she'll make an appearance, even if it's small. The rest of the characters, I don't know. They might go to Tarlo. Tarlo is the kind of the secret universe, pocket universe, where Shang-Chi's family is from. So we might see some stuff there as well. Trevor Slattery also shows up in this. The Mandarin from Iron Man 3. He makes a cameo in here, which is very fun. Go and check it out. It's a great flick. Next up is Venom: Let There Be Carnage.